Once upon a time, there was an old apartment in a quiet neighborhood. 10-year-old Sarah enjoyed living in this apartment with her family. However, she began to notice strange occurrences in the apartment on the upper floor. Every night, she would hear odd sounds coming from above. Footsteps, the creaking of doors, and even faint whispers. Sarah gathered her courage and one day decided to share these strange events with her family. Although her family tried to reassure her, Sarah was determined to uncover the truth. One night, while her family was asleep, she quietly went upstairs and sneakily entered the empty apartment on the upper. When she opened the door, she was greeted by a darkened old room. The old furniture was covered with sheets, but in the center of the room, there was a kind of banquet table. Candles were burning on the table, and an old diary was left open. Sarah picked up the diary and began to read. The diary told the story of someone who had once lived in this apartment and had met a strange and untimely end. The pages written about the cemetery were all about the room above. When Sarah reached the last page of the diary, she continued to read with, "Do not ever open the room above, Sarah. It is cursed. The entities in the upper room will find you and take you into eternal darkness at the cemetery." Sarah immediately dropped the diary, but it was too late. As she stood there with her hair standing on end, she heard a faint scream from above. She rushed out of the apartment and told her family what had happened. The next morning, the door to the apartment on the upper floor was found wide open, but there was no trace of what had occurred inside. Sarah and her family believed that the room was cursed. The words written about the cemetery revealed a terrifying truth. Years later, the old apartment still stands, and the apartment on the upper floor remains abandoned. The neighbors can't forget the horrifying incident, and they shudder when passing by the cemetery. No one truly knows what happened, but Sarah and her family will never forget that dreadful night.